Tonight on Capitol Hill, a moment that may seem procedural on the surface, but could have serious consequences for how America funds and oversees its military.
Time's expired. Chair, and I recognize the gentlelady from New Hampshire, Ms. Goodlander.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses for being here today. We have one really important thing in common. We all swore an oath to this great document, the United States Constitution. We swore that oath when we joined the military, and we swore that oath when we began the jobs that we're holding now. And I want to begin at the beginning of this document and at the beginning of your testimony, Mr. Hegseth. In the first sentence of your testimony, you said you're here today to testify about the fiscal year 2026 budget for the Department of Defense. You're required under law to submit this budget to the Congress because we've got the power of the purse, after all, by no later than the first Monday in February. Here we are in the second Thursday in June. We don't have your budget, as the chairman, the ranking member, and many of my colleagues on this committee have pointed out. You have testified that you want to be accountable for every dollar, every taxpayer dollar, and where it goes. We can't do our job without your budget. When can we expect your budget, Mr. Hegseth?
Well, as I also acknowledged in my opening remarks, in the first year of an administration, it does take more
Mr.
time,
Hegseth,
especially
please
while
reclaiming
you're
my
addressing
time.
the priorities of the previous administration.
When can we expect your budget?
You have details of it already, and you will have it very soon.
Can we expect the budget before the end of the month?
I would refer to Bryn, who's working that, but I know there are a great deal of detail that is already with the committee.
Okay, let the record reflect that you haven't given us a commitment, but you're required by law to do so. You're also required by law to pass an audit. That's been true since the 1990s. The Department of Defense is the only department that has continually failed an audit. You've committed to passing an audit in 2028, but we expect you to pass an audit this year and hope you will work with us to achieve that goal. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you for your testimony and what you've said about the threats that we face as the United States, threats from China, Russia, and Iran, and I want to ask briefly questions about each. Mr. Chairman, you've said that the Chinese Communist Party is advancing an unprecedented military modernization effort with cutting-edge technologies, including artificial intelligence. Do you agree that the United States military must have more powerful AI capabilities than China?
Well, ma'am, first, thank you also for your service in the Navy. I think LLMs and AI really underpinning all of our command and control capabilities is now and will be in the future a key and essential tool for decision making.
Thank you. I agree that American AI dominance is extremely important. Yes, Mr. Hegseth, should American AI dominance be up for negotiation with China and any trade talks that are underway?
As the chairman said, we're very focused on AI dominance. It's central to maintaining our cutting edge, and we're doing that.
Good. Well, I hope, will you commit to telling the president not to sacrifice American AI dominance in any of his negotiations with the Chinese?
The president is not surrendering any of our dominance to the Chinese.
Good. I'll take that as a yes, that you'll be advocating for that. Thank you very much. I hope you'll also, you've both spoken to the importance of competition in the defense industrial base. I agree with that deeply. I'd point out that 40% of small businesses have left our defense industrial base supply chain in the past decade, and trade wars that have caused unprecedented uncertainty are going to drive more small businesses out of business. And that's something I hope we can work together to try to prevent, because it's very real in my home state of New Hampshire. Mr. Hegseth, did you order a pause in offensive cyber operations against Russia?
I know the story you're referring to, and it's false. We said it then, and I'll say it now.
So it is your testimony that you never ordered a pause in offensive cyber operations against Russia?
We did not.
Okay, let the record reflect that, and we'll be following up on that. I'm going to skip Iran because there's been a lot said in this hearing that has given me grave concern. One of the things that's been said in this hearing, Mr. Hegseth, was I want to give you the opportunity to correct the record and make clear that you will abide by, that you will obey a ruling of the United States Supreme Court.
I don't believe we have any cases pending before the Supreme Court right now.
I want to ask you, will you abide by a ruling by a decision of the United States Supreme Court if it is issued and you're asked to do so.
What I've said, and I'll repeat, is that district courts should not set the foreign policy of the United States of America.
Mr. Hegseth, this is a fundamental principle of the United States Constitution.
Gentlelady's time's expired. Chair, I recognize the gentleman.
In a tense exchange during the Pete Hegseth hearing, Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander of New Hampshire zeroed in on one issue that cuts to the heart of constitutional power: the missing 2026 Department of Defense budget. What unfolded was more than a back and forth about paperwork. It was a fundamental debate about accountability, transparency, and who truly controls the nation's purse strings. If you value in-depth breakdowns that go beyond the headlines and actually help you understand what is at stake, make sure you subscribe right now so you never miss our coverage. Goodlander began with something symbolic but powerful. She reminded everyone in the room that both lawmakers and military leaders swear an oath to the same document, the United States Constitution. That was not just ceremonial language. It set the stage for her central argument. Under the Constitution, Congress holds the power of the purse. That means no matter how strong the Department of Defense is, no matter how urgent the global threats may be, it cannot legally spend money unless Congress authorizes and appropriates it. And by law, the president's budget request is supposed to be submitted no later than the first Monday in February. But here we are in June, and according to multiple members of the committee, that budget still has not been formally delivered. When Goodlander asked Hegseth directly, "When can we expect your budget?" she did not get a firm date. Instead, she received a familiar Washington explanation that in the first year of a new administration, the process takes more time. Hegseth said details were already with the committee and that they would have it very soon. But when pressed on whether it would arrive before the end of the month, he declined to make a commitment. How much goes to personnel? How much to weapons systems? How much to cybersecurity? How much to countering China? Without a full budget submission, lawmakers cannot properly debate trade-offs, propose amendments, or hold the Pentagon accountable for specific line items. And that leads to the second major issue raised in the exchange: the Pentagon's audit failures.